All right, now we're live. We're here in Des Moines to do the Maury Island incident. I'm going to do a little show and tell for you guys, kind of show you the area of where the famous Maury Island incidents happened. Now you can see here, this is my van. This is where I go camping. Down here is all my camping gear. So anytime I want to go, I just go. So let's, all right. Let's take a walk over here. All right. All right. So this is where the famous Maury Island incident that happened on June 21st, 1947. Now we're actually in the town of Des Moines, Washington. Maury Island is an island that's over there. But this is the dock where the ships went out into the ocean, out to the Puget Sound. And this is where it all happened. This is the place where the ships left and went out there, and they had the UFO incident that they saw. So this is live. I know it's a different time that I've been doing my live shows, but I had the opportunity to come here in the morning. There's a little bit less people, so I thought, what the hell, I'll just do this live, even though nobody's gonna show up. So on June 21st, 1947, this is the dock. So what you have is Dahl. Yeah, Dahl. He actually lived in Tacoma. They all came down here to get on a boat to go out there, and there's a few ships out there. And it was out there is when they saw 6 UFOs. That one was malfunctioning, and when it malfunctioned, part of the particles apparently hit a dog, so it killed a dog. So a dog got killed, and it actually broke a kid's arm. So whatever these things were in the sky, even if you're the skeptics, right? You have Boeing. So Boeing been in Seattle since like 1916 when they start creating airplanes. So if you want to say that the 6 UFOs they saw were, they were air experimental Boeing planes, I mean, you can say that. But the only thing is I say against Boeing planes being out here during the incident is several claims says the aircrafts were more round. Okay, so it was more round. So everything that Boeing has created, nothing compares to what people saw here. Nothing compares. So could it still be a confidential secret plane that they were playing with? Of course, I guess it can be. But then why hasn't there been any other planes just like those? So let's take a look. So this is the dock. I'm gonna hold this sometimes and show you the dock. So, okay, so we're gonna walk over here, and I'm sure. Now this is Des Moines. This area right here. It's like a retirement. A lot of retirement people are here, so they'll probably be looking at me like, "Who's this guy? Who's he talking to?" So there might be a lot of people staring at me, but we're gonna make it happen. So this is the dock. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the dock. So How it works is they take their ships, their boats here, and then they go out past these rocks, and they go out to the open Puget Sound. So just imagine, in 1947, you take your boats out, and we're gonna take a walk. I'm gonna take you to the bridge. Hopefully you guys are having fun. Let me see if anybody's here. Let me see. Okay, we got Exploring Harley, just became a sponsor. I want to appreciate that. Exploring Harley, I love the guy. Jojo, Midwest, Roger Blair. All right, here we go. We'll continue. So, the ship, this is the part where it goes out into the middle of the Puget Sound. Now, let me see, I don't know how good you guys can see, but over there, right there where I'm pointing my finger at, that's Maury Island. Maury Island is basically connected to what we call Vashon Island. So basically, when you take a ferry boat, you're taking a ferry boat to Vashon Island, and then you just drive to Maury Island. Where if you saw my previous videos of me walking the beach, you can't tell, but there's a lighthouse. But right there where my finger is, there's a lighthouse. Oh, right there. And that's where I was walking the street. So let's continue. So, all right. Now, you guys gonna see something. Actually, here, look at this. Isn't this cool? Look at that. They actually just built this. I'm gonna stand here so everybody be staring at me like, what is this guy doing? So here we go. Here's this. All right. Now I'm on top of the world. Now everybody could be staring at me. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see the Olympic Mountains. The Olympic Mountains are right over there. Look how beautiful that is. I'm just showing you guys around. All right, so let me I'm gonna take you guys to the bridge, but let me see. Hey, Midwest, JoJo's here, Roger Blair's here, Midwest, Deborah Hartwell. That's awesome. Janet, all right, she's here. I love it. Fastmania. So, Danny Staten, early you are. Yes, I had the opportunity to come out here now, so I just thought I'd just do a live show from the Maury Island area, from the actually from the Des Moines side. And since there's less people, I thought it'd be easier to do it. So, let me read the story a little bit to you about the Maury Island. This is the story that I scripted and wrote for that little Maury Island versus Roswell. Now, and you got to remember, guys, Roswell happened on July 8th, 1947. You got to remember, so the Maury Island incident happened on June 21st, 1947. So technically, the Maury Island incident happened before. It happened before, 2 weeks before the Roswell. So does that mean anything? Well, when people say, when people don't read up their history, a lot of people argue with me and say, Eric, Maury Island just copied the story from Roswell. Whoa. If you're saying the stories are fake, then technically Roswell will copy the story from Maury Island, because Maury Island happened first. Now, I have a belief of a connection between the two, and we're going to get to that in a second, and we are going to get on that bridge. But let me read this. The Maury Island incident recounts the story of flying saucers occurred on June 21st, 1947, which integrity predates the Roswell UFO incident. Predates by 2 weeks. Are those two stories somehow connected? And I'm here to tell you, yes, they are connected. They're connected in a huge way. Harold Dahl, a resident of Tacoma, Washington, serves as a central figure in the Maury Island Incident. On fated day, he embarks on a boating expedition in Puget Sound alongside his son and faithful companion, that's their dog. While navigating the waters, Dahl attention and captivated by the presence of six UFOs, not one, not just one, 6 of them. Now, it's easy to confuse one UFO being an airplane, airport, but 6 of them. People, 6 of them. And of course, you guys know, about 3 days after the incident, Kenneth Arnold, a pilot, a federal marshal, witnessed 9 discs around Mount Rainier. So basically, this is the Puget Sound area. Now, you can't see it right here, but over there is where Mount Rainier is. So you're telling me they saw 6 here, and they saw 9 just a few days later. At Mount Rainier. And then a week and a half later, there's a crash at Roswell. So you're not gonna tell me that they're not connected? They're very well connected. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you guys. So here, let's do this. I'm gonna take a step. It's like, all right. So let me show you guys this. So this is the bridge. Not a bridge. It's a deck that takes you out in the ocean. So let's go. Let's take a look. So we're gonna let me take a look. So here we go. While we're walking, I'm gonna read some of this to you. So as flying objects that resemble doughnuts revolving in the sky above, astonishingly, one of the unidentified objects suddenly detonates, showering the boat with torrent of scorching debris. Tragically, Dahl's beloved dog lost his life. So right there. Are you seriously gonna hoax something and sacrifice your dog for a hoax? I mean, yes, it's possible. It's possible, but really? Really? Okay. But his son sustained burns on his arms. And he went to the doctor. That's all documented. His son did receive burns from this incident. And it's not from the ship. They investigated the ship, the boat. There was nothing on there that showed any kind of burns. So if that's a hoax, that's one hell of a hoax to do, right? To have your dog get killed and have your son's arm gets burned. You know, you know what I mean? I mean, there's more things here. My opinion is to say, this is more fake than Roswell. If you think they're both fake, I think they're both real. But we all know we live in a world people will hoax. I mean, hell, we just saw 2 weeks ago the big hoax they did and people from Mexico did in Los Angeles. But who in the right mind would do that? And now the guy technically was investigated to make sure that he wasn't harming his kid. He wasn't. So something happened. So let me see here. Let me read this. So, according to this, overwhelmed by fear, Dahl and his son refuge on the shores of Maury Island, patiently waiting the departure of the saucer. So what happened was, when the incident happened, right? So when the dog got killed and the kid received burns, they went across to the island. Right across over there. So right across over there is where they went to the island. I guess you want to say they want to hide from the ships. They want to hide from the UFOs. But over there, they went to the Maury Island. That's Maury Island. So they went there to hide. Now, it's not in the books. It's not written there, but locals will tell you that a ship crashed on Maury Island. There was a ship crash. There was military there, but they kept that basically like off the record. So on that island, there was military presence, and there was evidence of proof that military was there. They just didn't say they were there for a UFO crash. I believe that the UFO did crash. All right, so let's continue. I'm gonna take you all the way out there, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. So I'm gonna read some more while I let you guys look at the beautiful ocean. So Dahl recounts all the events that occurred on the previous day. He impacts a cautionary message that becomes instruction. Okay, whatever. Okay, so whatever. So what happened was, the very next day, when everything settles down, Dahl was visited by the first story ever of the Men in Black. The first story ever. Think about it. Men in Black didn't. The first Men in Black was here. The first written story about seeing a Men in Black. I mean, I'm sure they were there before this incident, but the first record of anything with the Men in Black. Now, people will say, but Eric, Dahl admitted that it was a fraud. Now, of course, he came back and admitted that it wasn't a fraud, it was real. He was visited by the Men in Black. Now, the thing is, people got to understand, the best thing that Men in Black, government workers, whoever it is, the number one weapon that they have is to force you to say it's fake. All right? It's fake. Because once you say that, no matter what, the majority of the public thinks you're a liar. That's the power that the government has to shut you up. Even when you get the balls, you get the strength to say, you know what? I'm going to come out with the truth. Kind of like that woman right now with Donald Trump, right? He hush money. He's coming out, finally saying the truth, and you know something happened. Same thing. So the biggest power of these people is to make somebody say it was made up. Because once they get that in their heads, it's made up. All right. So, here we go. I'm going to show you here. And then, isn't that gorgeous, people? Isn't all this gorgeous? Isn't this? And guys, this best part is, I live in this town. This is my town. I live here. So this ain't me visiting. This is in my own backyard. Now, here's some more. Actually, let's go out there. Let's take a look. All right, look at all that. Look at those mountains. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, you can see the dock, the Des Moines dock. So you can see that. We're almost near the front, and then I'll tell you more of the story in a second. So let's get out there. So I'm telling you, you guys are gonna love the scenery out here. All right. Hello. How's it going?
How you doing?
Not good. Good.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. See ya. All right. So here we go. We're almost near the front. We're almost near the front of this bridge. You guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. All right. And it's so awesome. I got internet signal out here. We're almost to the front. We're almost to the front. And then I noticed once I started walking on here, people left. So I don't know. Maybe they're afraid of me. Who knows? But We're almost to the front, people. I hope you guys enjoying this. I really do. I kind of like doing this. It's fun getting out and all that. All right, here we go. Here we go. We are now in the front. Of course, that right there is Maury Island. That's where the ship went. This is, I'm trying to let you guys see the whole thing. That's the town, of course. That's the town. And right over there, where the devil's hand is. The devil's hand that I showed you guys is right there above where the UFO started to malfunction. So, isn't this gorgeous out here? Look at this. You know, isn't it just beautiful, isn't it? Sometimes in life, man, this is all you need, right? This is all you need. You need beauty. So I'm gonna sit right here with you people. I'm gonna sit right here. All right. So I'm gonna read some more of this for you guys, okay? So hopefully you're enjoying this. Now, in response to Arnold's request, first, Lieutenant Frank Brown and Captain Davison were summoned to the Northwest to investigate the witness claims. So get that. The government sent a lieutenant and a captain to investigate this sighting. Why would they do that? If it was fake, why would the government send a lieutenant and captain to investigate this? Why would they send men in black out here? Now, this is important right here, people. This is important. This is important. They convened with Kenneth Arnold and Fred Cripson at the Winthrop Hotel in Tacoma, which is recorded. It was recorded that the captain and lieutenant had a meeting with the witness. That's on record. You can't change that. That's on record. People, that's on record. All right. Let me see here. It was already midnight, July 31st, 1947, when they concluded their interview and urgently called for a command car to transport them back to Hamilton Field. Their urgency stemmed from the fact that it was Air Force Day, the day when the Air Force officially separated from the Army, and they declared that all planes were required. That's not a big thing but her. But here, this is where it gets interesting. The following morning around 9:20 a.m., Arnold received a call from Fred Cripson, who informed him about the news of a B-25 bomber that had exploded and crashed just 20 minutes after taking off from McFord Field. The crash occurred near Castle, Washington, as the left engine of the B-25 caught fire. And this is the first time a T-bomber has ever crashed on American soil. First time. Look it up. Just look it up, people. Just look it up. All right. According to the article in Tacoma Times, an intelligence officer at McCormick Field confirmed that the B-25 bomber was carrying classified material from the Maury Island UFO Incident, as reported by the information. Now, guys, it was recorded from an officer that they had something from the UFO incident. If it was a hoax, then what are they carrying? You can't carry a hoax. You can't put a hoax in a box and put it in the back of your fucking plane and say, hey, we got a material. They actually had a material. Now, some people believe that the material that they have was a UFO. Now the story goes it was a piece of metal that's from the ship. Could be, but the locals will tell you that no, they had an alien body. Now, a single source claimed that the B-25 bomber originated from Hamilton Field was down by a 20 mm cannon. Now some people said the engine never exploded. Some people are making the claims that it was shot down because they did not want the world to see that alien. That it was ordered down by Hoover. That's the story of the locals. But it was a true claim by somebody who said, no, the evidence shows it was shot down. All right? So let me see here. In the summer of 1947, in June and early July, a farmer named William Mack Brazil stumbled upon wreckage while tending to his ranch 70 miles north of, okay, so now they're trying to, we're combining this story with the UFO along the Roswell. That's the part about Roswell here. So let me, okay, so let's talk about what we know. Let's talk about it. Okay, so over here, 6 donut UFOs flying over here while the boats were in the water. One of the ships had a malfunction, killed a dog, and broke a kid's arm, or burned his arms. And that's on record. Then they went over to Maury Island, which is right there, and they hid there until the ships are gone. That's what we know. That's not made up. That's factual story. And the visit by the Men in Black is documented. Now, can't prove that the people who showed up at the guy's house was a true government agency. Now, that part is up to you to believe. But tell me this. A lieutenant and a captain visit the person who saw the UFOs at a hotel, which is recorded that meeting happened. So that is recorded. And it is recorded from the McCormick Field airplane plane that they were carrying something from the incident. So that means something was here. Even if you think it was Boeing, if you think it was Boeing's plane, right? A Boeing experimental plane, fine. Believe that it's a Boeing plane. But they had some kind of material, so it had to come from somewhere. So if you want to say it's from a Boeing plane, I get that. But again, my brother worked at the Boeing Museum of Flight. There is no ship that he has seen that even assembles like a round donut. Nothing assembles. So again, was it a Boeing plane? Could be. Then what about the 9 that Kenneth Arnold saw at Mount Rainier a few days later? 9 of them. Okay, and then think about this. A week and a half later, a UFO crash in Roswell. Can you actually sit there and tell me, Eric, they're not related, they're not the same clan? Now, again, we in America have a lot of different airplanes, a lot of military planes, and we have different ones that fly in the sky at the same time. They could have had different UFO type ships, you know, one for abductions, one for exploring, different kind of ships too. So one could have been a different shape. It doesn't necessarily mean that all UFO ships, you know, look the same. So that's interesting in itself. Let's walk over here. Ah, crab fishing. Hopefully you catch something today. So again, people, seriously, think about this. Are you going to tell me, seriously, think about this. Are you going to tell me in 1947, there just happened to be two different alien clans from different planets somehow come visiting Earth around the same time, and they're all on the West Coast, right? They happen, you know, two different planets, and they happen just to be on the West Coast. And when I contacted a certain somebody who's very close to me in the military, who said that some of the classified information is not given out, there was something written that the footage, not the footage, the parts from either a spacecraft, an experimental Boeing plane, were once, they were the same. They were the same exact material. Now, I'm not saying that the report is saying they're both same material from a UFO from another planet. No, I'm not saying that. They're saying they said it's the same material. They're the same clan, people. They're the same freaking clan. My theory, again, this is only my theory, that this is probably one of the first times that these planes are investigating this planet, and it hasn't fully adapted to the atmosphere here yet, and the planes aren't tuned correctly. That will cause one of the malfunctions, and I believe one of the planes had a malfunction above Roswell. They're the same, people. They're the same. They are related. Now, here is another story that they said. Now, there could be some truth into this. The T-bomber that crashed in Keswick, Washington, that the one they supposedly shot down was technically, if you listen to the locals, it was a decoy. It was a decoy because the word got out that that plane has something that's from here. So I believe that plane was sacrificed and the real plane went to Area 51. Again, that part's my theory, what I've heard for some people, and I believe that that would make sense to explode something, to say, we're never gonna know now, we're never gonna know what that material is, it's exploded. You know, Dr. Wu himself had found a rare metal material out on the island. Makes you think, right? Because again, I'm not gonna believe. I remember somebody came in my chat one time and said, no, Eric, it was a different ship. Well, of course it's a different ship that crashed, but it doesn't mean it's not from the same clan. I mean, really? Really? We just happened in 1947, two aliens from different planets just all decided to come here at the same time. I mean, it could. Here, I'm gonna show you guys all this. Again, remember, that's where the boats have left to go out into the ocean. Now here is where the 6 UFOs come, right here. And what's cool is I live in this town. Now remember, I wasn't born here, guys. I was born in Fresno, California. So it's not like I have total roots here and I'm just going with the story. But, all right. I'm walking off the bridge and we're gonna go over there and we're gonna talk some more. But let me just show you guys around, There. Again, that's where the boats were. And of course, right there is the famous Devil's Hand, right up there. So, now again, I know there's a lot of people who don't believe in the UFOs and stuff. That's fine, that's fine. You can believe that the stories are fake, but is it fake? Are all the documentations fake? Was the visit? I mean, why would a lieutenant captain come fly from California for a fake story? There had to be something that made the military want to send something out to investigate it. There has to be. It's just, we're walking over here. Such a lovely day, isn't it? The weather's perfect. Everything's perfect. Now, I want to show you guys something. Oh, look at that. All right. Now we're just walking. Oh, a lot of great people here. So we're actually going to walk by the docks. And I'm going to take you guys to, there's a little place right here where you eat coffee. You can buy drinks called the quarter deck. And it's right up here. I'm going to show you guys where they actually have the Men in Black party, where they have that bash I was telling you guys back every year. They have where all the Men in Black come out. They have a band that's dressed up in Men in Black. So hold on a second. I'm reading some of the chat. In 1947, there was a testing, new Tesla microwave radar system. Funny, there was testing the radar at Roswell Air Base and Lewis Air Force, Puget Sound. I know, right? Right? What if the UFOs here caught some of that signal and they went over there? Right? I mean, you don't know. I mean, it's such a, this mystery, there's evidence of it. Again, I really, truly hope you guys are enjoying this. Because when you hear these stories, like the Maury Island, Roswell, it's better that you get to be there at that spot. You know what I mean? So, we're following me. And then I'm going to take you guys to the deck over here. Man, I forgot what the bar was called. Quarter deck. Okay, so I'm taking you guys here. This is, look at this big star here. Star design. It's a cool little star design here. Okay, so right there is the quarter deck, and again, that's where they have the Men in Black birthday bash every year. It's very exciting. So people who believe in the story, or I'm sure there's people who just dressed up in Men in Black just to be part of it and don't have no belief. I'm sure there's a lot of those kind of people. But there we go. And then here, the hips. There we go. Got the hips. And then right here, guys, this is awesome. So this is the quarter deck. You could get, when they're open, you could get coffee, beer, wine, and you can sit right there in these tables. And even have a little tent in case it rains, because it does rain in Seattle. And think about it, drinking some coffee and beer right there. I mean, isn't it just awesome? I mean, I love the quarter deck. Look, just showing you guys everything. Birds. Oh, here, let me walk over here. Let me show you guys, see if I can get a better view for you guys. just sitting there. And this is where, and with all these chairs here, and this is where they have the every year the Men in Black bash. Now in the town Des Moines next to here is where they do the Maury Island Street Fair, where they have the fair and all that. And I love it when towns embraced their local stories, you know what I mean? Embraces it. And I think it helps, even though like you might say, well, Eric, towns, you know, they're just doing it for money, to make money. You know, there's nothing special about that. I go, no, it's not. So when you're a young kid and you hear Maury Island, what's that, Daddy? What's Maury Island? It may inspire people to investigate it themselves. That's the beautiful thing of these small towns when they do stuff like this. So the quarter deck. So if you ever want to get some wine, beer, and look out for the UFOs, you can. So we're gonna walk back over there. Now, of course, right here, those are all condos. Those are all condos, and if I'm correct, I'm trying to think here. I think they're for retirements, so not anybody can just live here. So let me walk back over here. Let me just I'm gonna show you guys again. There you go. Just giving you guys an awesome look. Awesome look. I'm just walking over here. There's a boat right there taking off. Maybe that boat is gonna go to the open isn't it just, oh, isn't that cool? So what do you guys think? Let me look here. Let me read the chat. Actually, I'm trying to find a good seat. Here, let's walk over here. Hello. All right, we're gonna walk over here, and then I'll see what some of you are writing in the chat, because I like to know from you guys. What do you guys think? You guys think the Roswell, Maury Island are real? And again, I know, listen, I ain't stupid. I know that Roswell is the bigger popular story. I'm not a fool, but I'm telling you, there's more evidence, in my opinion, that Maury Island, my opinion, should have been the bigger story. But it's just the way social media, how they tell the story, the newspapers. Roswell, I don't know, I guess it just had a better name. I mean, because first of all, they could easily call this the Des Moines Incident, but then people get confused that this is the Des Moines that's in Iowa, I think, or, you know, there's Des Moines in several other areas. So I think the Maury Island, since the people went to the Maury Island, it was a better name. But I think they called it Maury Island because there was a UFO that was crashed there. So let's see. Let me read some of you guys in the chat. I got to see all over USA watching lives. That's awesome. All right, let's look. Eric, your cardigan is very nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You guys like this? Yeah. But I'm also wearing shorts. I'm wearing, you guys don't want to see I'm actually wearing shorts too. So you can say that I'm dressed very, very, very funny. So let's see here. I think the new microwave radar knocked the alien craft out of the air. And you know what? That could be a possibility, because if you think about it, if a spacecraft from another world first time came here, you know, they still got to adapt their ships to our atmosphere and to our radar signal, you know, all that. They have to adapt. So who says that the signal that was coming from that Tesla, you know, was not getting out? Now, I'm sure by now they fixed that issue, because you haven't really heard too much of UFO crashes. But again, I'm going to preach this to the day I die, that the Maury Island and Roswell are very, very well connected. But I feel that the government on purpose wants to separate the two, because on individual, it's easy to control the narrative of the story. It's easier to control the narrative of Roswell and the Maury Island. But put those together, you can't really control it. It's too hard. But within 2 weeks, people, 6, Mount Rainier, you can't see it. Let me see. You can't see where the angle I'm at. 9 UFOs, and then all of a sudden, a week and a half later, one crashed in Roswell. You know what I mean? I mean, all the pieces are there, but it's just the weirdest thing. The people of Roswell don't want to be connected, because, you know, it's their story. Roswell's their story. Maury Island, it's their story. It's like it also. We live in a world where even these stories have become valuable money IPs, because if you combine them, I think combining them makes the story stronger. I think it shows more interest to both, in my opinion, to both. And I believe that they do have an alien that came from here and Roswell. I think they have 2 aliens sitting. Now, I'm not gonna say they're right now in Area 51. I think once Area 51 finally was admitted it's real, I think they're moved. I believe, because myself being in the military, people that I know in the military, that top secret materials are moved around. They're never in one place for a long period of time. It's the way to keep the people out of it, because even the military get inspected, and who knows what secret departments of the government are keeping from other people from the government. So everything is such a top secret. But this is it. Again, start from the beginning. These are the boats that took off, went out there, saw 6 donut UFOs, malfunction, killed a dog, burned a kid's arm, crashed. Now that part's not recorded, but crashed on Maury Island. And guys, what I'm going to try to do for you next week, I'm planning to do a live show. I got to see if they're single over there. I don't know if they're single on the part of the Maury Island that I want to be on. But if there is single, I want to do a live show, continue this conversation over there on Maury Island, to give you perspective of both sides. Now, and you also got to remember, in 1947, you know, the parking lots aren't like this. Things aren't really built like this. So things were a little differently in 1947. So let me see here. Somebody wrote, there's a lot of creatures undiscovered in our planet because of their ability on how you know it's a craft. It could be a creature when just don't understand the ability. We all have ability. Yeah. Listen, again, you could be a believer that the things they saw here in Roswell were experimental Boeing planes. And I would understand that. Boeing's been around since 1916 building aircrafts for the military. So, you know, so I could believe that. If you believe that, I got nothing against it. Now, if some people says the things that they saw were creatures, I can see that point too. Something in the sky. You just automatically thinking something that big has got to be a ship and not a creature. So that makes sense too. But what makes sense is there are evidence that something happened. It's recorded that the T-bomber that crashed in Kelso, Washington was carrying something. That's a fact. That's not made up. And again, and if the story was made up, then why would they come out and say we have a material on the plane that's from the incident? What, did they pick up a rock from the ground? Something from the water? Or you could say, well, Eric, they probably picked up the black box from an experimental plane. Okay, then, but that's more plausible. That's more plausible that happened than nothing. That's that's all I'm saying. I personally believe that these incidents are real and they're related. They're connected. They're 100% connected. 100%. My opinion. My opinion. You don't have to have the same opinion. Remember, guys, on my channel, everybody has the right to choose on what they believe. If you think both these stories are hoaxes, again, I said that. A person argued me on Reddit said, Eric, the guy admitted it. The guy who was visited by Men in Black was forced to say something didn't happen because the government knows once they put that doubt to force somebody to admit something, they know most of the world are not going to believe the truth, even when it comes out. Not going to be the truth. Listen, we're seeing it right now, people. Look how crooked Donald Trump is. And Joe Biden, look how crooked they are. And they'll come out in the news how crooked they are, but people don't care. People don't believe it. People already made up their minds. That's the thing. Once somebody comes out and say that they're forced to lie, people are made up their minds. Oh, he's a liar. Think about it. If people showed up in your house, Men in Black, government, FBI, and they tell you, if you don't change your story, this is what's going to happen to you. And remember, we're common people. We're common people. You know, if you got a family and kids and your job's online, look at what about the incident in Australia when they tell the principal of the school that if you don't retract your story, we're going to say you're drunk. What do you do? What do you do? You know what I mean? So you got to look at all sides, people. You got to look at all sides. And, well, with that, people, I hope you enjoyed this little live show being out here. Hope you like that kind of stuff. And if I could get a single at a certain area, I'm going to do more of this. You know, it's just some areas that I just can't get a good single. But here is strong, and I hope that this helps a couple of people to study the Maury Island even more. Listen, if you're a Roswell buff, you love the stories of Roswell, then Maury Island's up your alley. Because remember, this happened 2 weeks prior to Roswell. This happened first. So I hope some of you are inspired by this. Are so inspired, and you're going to investigate the stories yourself. So again, I apologize for not telling people I was going to do a 2 p.m. show at 9 a.m. It's just that in the morning, you got less people and all that. So, and a lot of Washingtonians like to keep to themselves. You don't get everybody who wants to jump on these stories because a lot of people, they're still afraid. They don't want to mention the story. So again, I'm going to end the broadcast. I want to thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Every single one of you are awesome. Every single one of you are awesome. And remember this, you all have voices. Do not care what other people say. What you believe is what you believe. Your voice is just as important as anything. If you don't agree with anything I say, there's nothing wrong with that. If you think both stories are hoaxes, nothing wrong with that. If you think these are Boeing experimental crafts, that's fine. I personally believe in the stories, and I believe they're connected. So beyond that, I'm gonna end this broadcast, and I wanna say you guys are awesome, and I'm gonna do a lot more of these. I'll talk to you guys later.